someone looks you dead in the eye and says something designed to hurt you, your chest tightens, your face goes hot, and in less than a second before you've even decided anything, your mouth is already moving. That's not weakness. That's biology. Your brain was built millions of years ago to treat every insult like a predator, and it still hasn't gotten the memo that words don't kill you, so it floods your body with the same chemicals it would use to fight off a wolf, and now you're standing in a kitchen, or an office, or a comment section, chemically prepared for combat, over a sentence. Here's the part almost nobody tells you. The person provoking you is not actually trying to beat you in an argument. They're trying to borrow your control, because the moment you react without thinking, they've decided how the next 5 minutes of your life will go. Not you. There is one fictional figure who has become a symbol for the opposite of this, a man surrounded by chaos, insults, and threats every single night, who somehow never lets any of it dictate his next move. Batman isn't feared because he's the strongest person in the room. He's feared because nothing in the room can make him lose himself. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do in the first 3 seconds of a confrontation, how to think clearly while someone is trying to make you angry, how to speak so that you keep your power instead of giving it away, and how to walk out of any conflict with your composure fully intact. Let's begin where it all actually starts. Inside your own nervous system, the first reaction is the danger. The instant you feel disrespected, your amygdala fires before your rational brain even wakes up. This is fight or flight. Adrenaline hits your bloodstream, your vision narrows, and your thinking brain, the part responsible for nuance, patience, and long-term consequences, temporarily goes offline. This is why people say things in arguments they'd never say if they had 10 more seconds to think. It's not that they're bad communicators, it's that they let a 5-second chemical surge write dialogue for the next 10 minutes of their life. Batman's philosophy is simple here. The strongest person in a conflict is rarely the loudest one. It's the one still operating with a working brain while everyone else is running on instinct. So here is your first tool, and you can use it today. The moment you feel that heat rise, stop. Physically stop, even for 1 second. Take one slow breath in through your nose, unclench your jaw, because a tight jaw keeps your nervous system locked in threat mode. Lower your voice instead of raising it. Do not answer instantly, even if the silence feels uncomfortable. That 1 second is where your power lives. Control the space between trigger and response. There's a difference between 3 things people constantly confuse: what happened, what you felt, and what you chose to do. Emotional control doesn't mean you stop feeling angry, embarrassed, or hurt. It means you refuse to let that feeling make the decision for you. Here's a system you can actually use in real time. Notice the trigger. Pause before speaking. Label the emotion silently. This is anger. This is embarrassment. Choose your response deliberately. Then act on your terms, not the emotions. Try this the next time a coworker criticizes your work in front of others. Notice the sting. Pause instead of defending yourself instantly. Label it, I feel exposed right now. Choose whether this even deserves a response in this moment. Then act with intention, not impulse. That 5-step gap is the exact space Batman operates in when a room full of criminals is screaming at him and he says almost nothing at all. Never let anger make your decisions. Anger feels like clarity. It isn't. It's confidence without accuracy. Angry people speak louder, but they think worse. They make bigger promises and worse decisions, and ironically, the angrier you become, the easier you are to manipulate, because a predictable person is a controllable person. Learn to notice the physical signs before the words come out. A racing heart, a tight chest, clenched fists, a rising voice. These are warnings, not commands. When you notice them, slow your breathing on purpose, relax your shoulders, speak slower than feels natural, because speed feeds the fire. Ask one clarifying question instead of firing back, what exactly are you trying to say? It buys you time and often exposes that the other person hasn't thought this through either. And never make an important decision while you're emotionally activated. Not a text, not a resignation, not a promise. Wait until the chemical storm passes, because it always does. Speak less when pressure rises. Most people believe more words mean more control. The opposite is true. When pressure rises, people over-explain, over-justify, repeat themselves, and hand the other person more material to attack. Every extra sentence is another opening. There's a difference between silence and passive aggression. Silence, used deliberately, is control. Passive aggression is anger wearing a quiet mask. There's also a difference between calm and weak, and between assertive and aggressive. Assertive is clear, brief, and unshaken. Aggressive is loud, reactive, and desperate to win. Here are phrases that keep your power without escalating anything. I understand what you're saying. I don't agree, and that's fine. Let's talk about this when we're both calm. I'm not continuing this while we're shouting. Short sentences carry more weight than long defenses. Say less, mean more. Don't take the bait. Why do people provoke you on purpose? Because your reaction is proof. Proof that they can affect you, control you, shrink you. A calm response denies them that proof completely. Learn to recognize bait when it's thrown at you. A personal insult, a mocking tone, sarcasm dressed as a joke, being interrupted mid-sentence, a public challenge to your ego, a question designed to trap you. The moment you recognize it as bait, something shifts. You realize you don't have to answer every challenge thrown your way. You don't have to prove yourself to someone who already decided not to respect you. You don't have to win every single interaction to remain the stronger person. Here's a challenge for the next 24 hours. Notice every moment you feel the urge to instantly defend yourself. Just notice it. Pause before you respond. Even for 2 seconds, you'll be shocked how many arguments quietly disappear the moment you stop feeding them. Know when to walk away. This is not about tolerating disrespect or staying in situations that hurt you. Walking away is not weakness. It is one of the most powerful decisions a person can make in the middle of conflict. There's a real difference between running from something out of fear and deliberately disengaging, because a conversation has stopped being productive, a heated argument that's going in circles, an online exchange that will never end in understanding, a toxic conversation that only exists to drain you, someone who keeps provoking you no matter how calm you stay. In all of these, leaving is not defeat. It's discipline. And if a confrontation ever becomes physically dangerous, none of this philosophy is about proving how calm or tough you are in that moment. Your priority becomes simple. Get out, get to safety, get help. Composure means nothing compared to your safety. Never let pride keep you in a place your instincts are begging you to leave. Become impossible to provoke. Here's the truth almost nobody wants to hear. Calmness is not something you discover in the middle of a confrontation. It's something you build long before the confrontation ever happens. You don't rise to the level of your intentions, you fall back to the level of your training. This is why the version of you that stays calm under pressure is built quietly, when nobody is watching, through exercise, which teaches your body to tolerate stress without panic, through sleep, because an exhausted brain has no patience left to give, through quiet reflection or meditation, training your mind to observe emotion instead of obeying it, through deliberate discomfort, cold showers, hard conversations, difficult workouts, anything that trains you to stay steady when things get uncomfortable, through journaling, where you process anger on paper instead of on people, through keeping small promises to yourself, because self-trust is the foundation of self-control. This is the real reason Batman never seems rattled. It was never about the mask. It's about everything he built before anyone ever tried to provoke him. Go back to that moment at the very beginning. The insult. The heat in your chest. The urge to fire back immediately. Now imagine that same moment, except this time you notice it, you pause, you breathe, and you choose. That's the entire transformation. Real strength was never about overpowering the person in front of you. It's about refusing to let them operate the controls inside your own mind. You don't need the last word. You don't need to prove you're fearless. You don't need to win every single confrontation you're ever handed. Sometimes, the quietest exit is the loudest victory you'll ever win, because the version of you that walks away, calm, clear, and unshaken, that's the version nobody can ever provoke again. That's the whole philosophy. Wrapped into one sentence, the world doesn't need to lose control for you to stay powerful. If you're ready to stop handing your composure to people who don't deserve it, comment, "I control my response," not for the algorithm as a promise you're making to yourself,